I'm Journey, and this is going to be the breakdown video for Final Fantasy for the After Years. You already heard the thoughts, and I said I was going to do one breakdown, and here it is. About some of the things I've completely disliked. Now, granted, some of the old stuff, some of the older Final Fantasies have a lot of these issues, but I mean, this one's pretty bad. So let's get into it. First, we're going to talk about Death Mask. This enemy it's not hard, it's not complicated to understand it. He casts Reflects on himself, and then he casts Reflect on the party. This allows him to reverse engineer the battle, meaning whatever he casts against himself is reversed back to you, and vice versa. Here's one of the biggest issues I have with this game. The stuff that we're supposed to use to combat it doesn't fit the description. So it just doesn't make any sense. Let's get into it. Now, reflect on the self, then reflect on us. And what I normally do is I'll taunt, just so whatever he's about to throw at me, Golbez can take it. Yeah, it's pretty somewhat decent magical defense. And then I'll do haste on Rosa just to make this a little bit faster. Also, the moment he takes damage, I have to put like an X potion or something on him because he does take enough. So we'll put an X potion on him. Now with Rosa, we just have magic that's on us. We can technically dispel it. We'll go through the description. Dispels magic effects. This includes things like haste, reflect, cloaked, even berserk. However, we need to dispel reflect. Reflects magic cast at a target. So we gotta get rid of it because it's really annoying. We can't hurt him with magic. So we'll dispel, but we have to use it on ourselves. It will bounce off to Death Mask. We wait. Now, once she dispels it, well, you'll see what I mean. Boom, dispel, and it misses. We're going to do it again just so that way you can bear witness to the atrocity that is this video game. We have skills here that does not meet its description. Already. I don't care whose fault it is. But just the fact that the spell can actually reflect or bounce off of something that inherently it is not supposed to do that at all. It's supposed to remove the barriers. It's supposed to remove these effects. It's supposed to get rid of all those beneficial things that enemies love to quote unquote use. Right? It just doesn't work. It just does not work. And I just don't understand it. I don't get it. It's really unfortunate because, I mean, what are you supposed to do? It's just supposed to stay on them? And the answer for the video game just happens to be yes, because there's no other way to do it. But if you do it to yourself, though, it will work. Right? If you do it to yourself, it will work. Just to prove a point, we'll do this one more time. That is for like a different presentation. I will have our other white mage in here, so that way we can do it double time, but we only got one, so we're just going to deal with that. We're going to just deal with that. So how would you feel about seeing something once and seeing it again? Chances are you're probably not going to use that spell for anything. And another thing, every enemy feels auto hasted. So as many turns as Death Mask has had, it doesn't feel right. It just does not feel right. And if you want to combat it by casting haste on everybody, well, last time I checked, there's 5 characters. So there's 5 turns that you have to spend with one white mage to cast that. It makes no sense. So check it out. The spell Death Mask. it's going to bounce off of him and hit one of our characters at random. Now, I have a feeling this might work. And Golbez is dispelled. Now, I don't get. Well, I'm sorry, I don't get. It works. It works on only us. And for whatever reason, Death Mask isn't. I don't care if he's dispel immune, though I never heard of that in Final Fantasy before. Never. It is a very unfortunate thing for this game because it's with you throughout your journey. And you're going to come across enemies that are very powerful. And so, tools that you should be able to have, that you do have access to, don't work. It doesn't fit its description. It doesn't execute properly. And your result is nothing but just frustration. And chances are you're going to look for something else. This is a turnoff. But this is just literally one part of things that I have an issue with when it comes to the battle system. We'll talk about that as we move forward. Bans. Bans are very, very annoying, personally, in my opinion. I'm lucky enough during this demonstration to actually have some unlocked. But let's talk about the process of unlocking them. So we might as well just get into it. And this is going to be in real time. So you have a character, you'll hit ban, you'll search for your bans. And let's say you want to find one with, let's do Sexual, right? And then Sexual will have to make any kind of action. It doesn't really even matter, but we'll try cover. And then you can just ban. You can also choose another character if you want to. And you can, I think you can do 3. Most, it might be, you could probably even do more than just that. And then you could just do ban. And then you just wait for them to see if they come up with something. You just wait. You wait. You wait. You just do some more waiting. All the while enemies are just going, just all kinds of out destruction. And then you get a ban failed. It's really, really, really annoying. So you're essentially playing roulette. And you're kind of looking for like whatever information you can find. So chances are, especially since the game doesn't really give you anything, there's very few sequences where you'll go through like a story and you'll get it unlocked. It's a demonstration when you first start. Theodore and Briz and Reg have theirs. But to select ban, then to select it, like an action, whatever it is, and then to select another character to then find any attack, black magic, pressure, whatever that they have, and then just you're playing Russian roulette. All the while enemies are just laying wait to you. Not only that, but I'll probably say this again in this video, but enemies are just auto hasted. I don't care what anybody says, they're auto hasted, meaning they move double speed. That's what haste does, and that's just their natural speed. You can slow them, but you still gotta take another action, meaning you gotta cast slow. And then go ahead and look for your bans. And if it so happens like Rosa, she has slow. You cast that, you look for a ban, and you need her to do it. You gotta wait for her action to come back again so you can make us. She'll be able to go. And then ban failed, and yeah. If you get one, great. If you don't, yeah. Well, what can you do? That sucks. Now, after a bunch of searching, let's just show you what a real band look like. May be wrong otherwise. We'll do Trinity Cassade. And then you have to search. So instead of going through all this garbage, just go through a wiki. I'm just saying. And then boom, you got so much damage it doesn't even make any sense. Just to show you the other things I kind of hate about this. Let's just wait until... Yeah, let's wait till they get a chance to go back again. So let's say Cecil hit on his own, right? Let's see what happens. And she gets followed. You see how little damage that is? So it was Rosa, Cecil, Kain. Let's see what Kain does. It's not much damage. They work together and it's breaking damage limit. So that's the situation there. The only other thing I can say, that kills me about bans, because it forces you in the game. Yeah, it's a mechanic, but it shouldn't be a mechanic that's mandatory. And it starts to feel like it's mandatory. That's the way how I feel. Unless you jack your levels up to max, it feels like it's mandatory in order for you to progress and do any real damage. And you still are required to use 3 people 14. They all use MP. So you got to buff. You got to buff your characters. You got to haste people. You got to be able to cure. You got to be able to do a lot of things. And then these bans, it just messes things up, in my personal opinion. So take it for as you will. I'm not even going to get to this frog status. I'm not even going to get to the status elements in general. The moment you get touched with something, the enemy has an ability to inflict something on you, chances are you're just going to get it. You're going to get it. It's like freaking automatic in this game. That's why you will want a ribbon. But, I digress. I digress. The Bestiary. It is a wonderful source of information on slain enemies. So what that means is you go through the world, you kill monsters, and they show up on your bestiary. Whenever you're looking for information on a particular enemy, this is where you want to be. It doesn't give you information on weaknesses, but it does give you information on something very, very important. Drops. A high wizard drop a very, very, very important item. It drops a ribbon. For some who do not know, let's say you're fresh and new to Final Fantasy, well, thank you for tuning in. Ribbons have been known to be one of, if not the best accessory in the game. All of them. They protect against, if not all, the mass majority of status elements you'll come across along your adventure. Poison, paralysis, confusion, stone, darkness, the list goes on. This game, however, lacks one crucial piece of information that will have liked to see drop percentages. Then again, if they probably showed those drop percentages, there probably would have been a riot. So they give it in this capacity. Mass majority of enemies have the ability to drop at least 4 different items. This one, Phoenix Down, Dry Ether, Soma Drop, and a Ribbon. You would think out of 100%, this is 25%, right? You would think so, but nah, it doesn't work that way. So at most, you're going to catch Phoenix Downs, you might catch a Dry Ether, maybe. Soma Drop, who knows? But Ribbon, there's no way that's 25%. And there's no way it's 10%. Chances are it's probably in the ballpark of maybe 3%, 1%. Probably even lower, because I never had got one off a drop from fighting this enemy. And what's going to happen is you're going to see it, you're going to recognize it, you're going to go after it, you're going to grind out. It's going to be hours on top of hours, and then you can even look at days, and you still might not see it. You have no idea about the percentages. And obviously, this is not the only person. It's not the only enemy. Some will drop less, some will drop more. It's all depending, right? But it's just whatever's on that last at the bottom. Ice arrows, Antarctic winds, and then White Fang at the bottom. That's the hardest one to get. And now I'm in bosses. So we roll back a little bit. The one that's at the bottom is always the hardest to get. But still, unfortunately, that grind is so ridiculous that it kind of, if you ask me, it kind of sets the stage for what the game is. It is a grind fest. Uh, it pains me, and it's disheartening. Honestly, it's really disheartening. All right, so you've seen the breakdown video. Um, I still can't stand this game. Talked about the bands. We talked about the bestiary. We talked about a lot of things, and that's not even counting character jobs like Kane, for instance, a dragoon that sucks at his own job, killing dragons. He does not do more damage against dragons. Supposedly, it's an item you get that's supposed to fix that, which makes no sense because his title is Dragoon. He does do more damage against flying type enemies, but why doesn't a dragon associate as that? I have no idea. Palam and Prom, they have their twin cast ability, but it takes so long to get off. You technically have to haste the both of them in order for it to work. Otherwise, you'll be waiting in the enemies, especially as in the type of numbers they come in. You could probably get nuked before that even comes to fruition. It is what it is. It's kind of bad. The grind is ridiculous. The rewards aren't there. Just aren't there. I don't feel good after pulling off a ban. I don't feel good after acquiring a rare item after fighting the same enemy for over 5, 6, 7 hours. It's a hard. This one is hard, but this, like I said, there was some fundamental things that's wrong with it. The fact that you need multiple stacks of protect and shell for them things to even work, and even then they don't. There has been instances where I was getting hit for 8 plus, 850, 856. I put protect on my character, and then the next thing you know, I see 900. So it is what it is. The spell I've already talked about that don't work. It's amazing to me that for your own resistances, you have nothing. So when an enemy hits you with whatever it is, you automatically get propped by it. Enemies have dispels that they can use on you, and it just seems to work. But you reverse that back towards them, and it just misses. It's frustrating. It's horrendously bad because there's no reward for thinking outside the box. There's no reward for trying something new. There's no reward for anything. And if you really want to do anything in this game, you have no other choice. You have to run with bans. There's been boss fights that feels like an endless loop, and the answers is always just random garbage. So might have more. We might have more on this. I'm not sure. I gotta get a break from this game. Mad love to everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. I would say hit the like and subscribe, but kind of already did it. But y'all should know how to support this channel. If you really, really want to support this channel directly, you can find me at Journey Forever. You can find me at twitch.tv/Journey Forever. I gotta get off this game because this thing is killing me. Mad love to y'all. Please be safe out there and treat each other well. Journey, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.